Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Afrik-innovscience, the platform promoting science, technology, engineering, and mathematics in Africa. Today, we have the privilege of delving into the world of molecular biology and healthcare improvement with a distinguished expert. Without further ado, let's welcome our guest. Good day, Mr. Shamsuddeen Yusuf. Thank you very much to be with us today. Please, can you introduce yourself for the people who don't know you?
Okay, thank you for the wonderful introduction. Though just a bit of correction, I am not expert in the field of molecular biology. I'm still a researcher. Should I say that in preparation to become an expert. So yeah, once again, thank you for the opportunity to share with the public about what I do and also what I contribute to. So yeah, my name is Shamsuddeen Yusuf ARUF, and originally I'm from Nigeria, but currently I'm in South Africa, where I'm doing my postgraduate degree in molecular biology with specification on TB research. Even though additionally I'm also a student with Lancaster University, UK, but that's a distance learning program, which I'm currently doing the master's in leadership practice on healthcare improvement. So in terms of my background, I'm a medical laboratory scientist. I'm a trained medical laboratory scientist in Nigeria, and I've worked for like 3 years before I decided to continue my postgraduate degree. And yeah, subsequently I've also teach aside. So I mean, working as a medical laboratory scientist. I also taught for several years as a course instructor back in Nigeria. So yeah, like I said, currently I'm in South Africa, and majorly what I'm doing is TB research, where we are exploring on the innovation behind nanotechnology. Specifically, we are looking at how we can kind of adopt nanomedicine into TB treatment. So yeah, that's currently what I'm doing.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for the introduction. As you were saying, your research is in the field of mycobactomics and nanotechnology for TB cure, if I can say like that. Please, can you elaborate on this research and the potential impact on the healthcare sector, especially in Africa?
Okay, yeah, I think that's an important question to respond to. So
Mm.
yeah, like I said earlier, I'm currently working on TB, and we call it mycobactomics. That's tuberculosis specifically. And then what we are trying to address here is actually TB treatments in the face of what you call antimicrobial resistance. I think the current menace in that's antimicrobial resistance. And looking at TB, which have been here for quite years, and when we look at even in terms of vaccination, the current effective vaccine is only BCG. Other type of vaccine are still in pipeline. Like they have not shown that effectiveness for us to kind of say we are able to address TB. So in the objective, like in an aim to kind of address all these issues, that's how nanomedicine is being explored by various scientists, just to see if we can also adopt similar method that have been used in terms of cancer treatment, using nanoparticles to kind of address these diseases. So we are trying to see if also we can use nanoparticles to kind of improve TB treatment specifically. And like I said, the aim is to address antimicrobial resistance, because if you feel like when we look at the causative of antimicrobial resistance, we see that it's actually based on the pathogen itself, but and also in terms of the host interaction between the pathogen. But in terms of nanoparticles, these are just like natural substances which have kind of been designed to kind of mimic the bacteria itself, so as to be able to resolve TB, so that to able to kind of support our immune system. So that's particularly what we're trying to do. And one thing to also mention, like I said, researchers have been involved. This is not a new thing, though. But yeah, in terms of my own research, this is a collaborative effort. We are currently in partnership with a university in USA, that's South Dakota, and also the University of Western Cape here in South Africa, where they are kind of responsible for the production of these nanoparticles. So our main responsibility in our research group, which is the host pathogen, the mycobacterial research group here in Stellenbosch University, what we are looking at is to kind of use all these nanoparticles where we work on them in the lab. That's just to see how effective are these actually nanoparticles, and is there anything that need to be changed, just to see if we can also have kind of improve the efficacy of the nanoparticles or even resolve terms of using nanoparticles.
Yeah, your academic journey is truly diverse. You are not just in the medical laboratory science, but you are also involved in a leadership practice with your training and so on and so forth. How has this range of experiences shaped your approach towards science and healthcare?
Okay, yeah, about that, I think I find myself in terms of, because when I look at my experience as a medical laboratory scientist, I think one of the things I come to understand in terms of especially healthcare services in Africa, I think one of the limitations we have is actually about the leadership. Though when we look at even Africa in general, we say that one of our limiting factors is actually leadership, and that is also similar in terms of our healthcare services. So to my own aims, I feel like the best way to kind of improve healthcare services in Africa is not just about doing the research alone, also looking at the leadership aspect. Improving on the leadership aspect is also important. And that's how we started what we call the Lead Med Lab Africa, which is actually an association, or rather an NGO, let me use the word, that is into kind of training various healthcare professionals and also students in terms of professionalism, in terms of also kind of leadership activities and managerial activities. So that's what we have done. Recently, I had to kind of step down after like working with the organization for 3 years. So, and like I said earlier, I'm also currently pursuing an MSc in Lancaster University with specification on leadership practice on healthcare improvement and biology research. So I'm putting all this together. I've been a bit of a challenge though, but I feel like the end product is to kind of put all these things together in terms of the leadership, in terms of the experience, in terms of research, putting it together on how to kind of present it to others for the improvement of Africa and also the world in general.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, wonderful. What you are doing is incredible. And you are also engaged in youth and advocacy, if I can say like that. Um, as a dad scholar and advocate for sustainable livelihood, how do you envision engaging African youth in science, technology, and entrepreneurship for a better future?
Okay, as a dad scholar and to give credit to the Commonwealth also. I'm also a Commonwealth scholar. That's the one responsible for my MSc at Lancaster University. One of the things I would say that I'm always an advocate for is two things: the SDG 3 and also the SDG 4, meaning quality health. That's one. Quality education. These are some of should I say specific goals that I'm very passionate about. And how have I been able to kind of engage youth in terms of putting this into ground, or like in terms of contributing, is that, like I said earlier, I was part of the Lab Africa, where we engage both personnel, that's healthcare personnel, and also students in terms of found a healthcare startup stage, that is the health rate the tried Synergy Nigeria Limited. So what we currently do in our startup is to kind of improve medical laboratory access, especially in remote populations that doesn't have access to quality and also reliable laboratory services. And in addition, we are also additional portfolio recently, which is just to kind of improve on diagnostic oxygen for patients. And yeah, that's basically what we do now. And one of our, in terms of my teams under the startup, we are actually young people of healthcare background. These are some of the ways I've been able to kind of engage with youth in terms of contributing to Africa growth. And much more recently, as a student here at Stellenbosch University, I was the vice chairperson. That's vice chairperson for the postgraduate student community, where I had the opportunity to engage with the students, the youth, and others in terms of the academic activities and so forth. So, like I said, you can see that about in terms of quality healthcare and well-being, and also in addition, quality education.
Wonderful. Addressing challenges is key to progress. In your experience, what are the main challenges and opportunities in the healthcare and technology sectors in Africa? And how can we work towards overcoming these challenges?
Well, I think there are a lot of challenges in Africa, and I think one of them will be in terms of the policy reforms, in terms of like the decision makers in healthcare service in Africa. I think one of the biggest challenge, like I said, is the policy, because when we look at some healthcare services, especially in the remote population, we see that some of them have like have limited access to quality healthcare services. Like there's no tangible fund that have been kind of allocated to. Even though, yeah, when we look at some of the government allocation, we understand that they actually do allocate necessary funds to these populations, but because of the system, the what I call the up and down system, where before the funding gets to those that let me say before the funding gets to the target population, it tend to get kind of should I say diluted alongside, which is one of the policy that are involved in terms of like delivering of this fund to this particular target population. And I will say majorly when we look at the policy in general, what is it's kind of show up is that really there is really limited access to these quality healthcare services. And I think the best way to will be able to address this is by adopting technology. I think yeah, Africa, we are still left behind in terms of technology in every sector, not just the healthcare. But if really we are up and ready for improving our healthcare services, I think the best way is to adopt technology as fast as possible. I will reference this man, that's Deng, that is in I think their former leader in China. When we look at how he was able to kind of change China economically, we see that one of the things he does is actually focus on education. And when he did focus on education, he did it rapidly in terms to help kind of pilot China into becoming one of the world leading economical countries. So I think, well, like I said earlier, policy is one of the main challenges of healthcare services in Africa.
Wonderful. And it's also important to try to inspire the next generation. What advice would you give to young individuals aspiring to pursue a career in molecular biology, healthcare, or related fields, particularly in the African context?
So in terms of advice to scientists, I think one of the things I always say is wanting to be funded to whatever they want to do or achieve. I think one of our problem as African is impatient a lot in terms of achieving something. And I have kind of refer to other kind of countries, I think one of their should I say the traits of achieving what they aim at is actually their patience and dedication to achieving that. So I think like I said to youth, I think the most important thing is to look at the long term of something, not actually the short term. Because I think when you look at a long-term benefit of something, you are able to achieve a lot compared to when you look at the short term. And it takes a lot of patience and also dedication before you are able to achieve whatever you aim to achieve. And yeah, then lastly, I would say that improving on what one have already learned every day. I think is also so important that the youth are kind of engaged in learning some new stuff, not just like dumb in one place or one particular learning environment. Though there is this point of trying to look for the word like the all-knower. Well, it's not necessarily that one needs to know everything, but I think an everyday and gradual learning process is very important to achieving whatever one aim to achieve. Yeah.
As we wrap up our conversation, I would like to extend a heartfelt thank you to our guest for sharing his expertise, even though he's not yet an expert. He's going to become an expert very soon. An insight. Let's see. Could you share some finite thoughts or words for, of encouragement to our viewers, emphasizing the importance of science, technology, and engineering in shaping Africa's future?
Okay. Well, I think I will bring a strange opinion this time. I think I'll find myself believing that the best way we could should I say, develop Africa is through education. Though I've said that earlier. But I think what I'm trying to say here in terms of education is entertainment. It might be strange that I'm saying entertainment is the best way we can develop Africa, even though when we look at in terms of entertainment, some of these African countries are doing well, like Nigeria, Ghana, and Co are doing well in terms of entertainment. But when we look at the picture of what they give to the public, I would say it's a bit drawing back African development, because I feel like some of the things that they depict is not it's not like good enough to kind of change the mindset, because I think one of the mindset that we have in Africa is actually based on our entertainment industry. So I feel like the best way we'll be able to change Africa is to kind of change what we kind of depict in our entertainment industry in terms of movies, in terms of music. I think is so important. And I feel like if I'm given an opportunity someday, even though I'm not an aspiring politician, more of a researcher and more of a healthcare provider. But I feel like if given the opportunity someday, I think one of the things I would like to disrupt is actually our entertainment industry. I feel like, if we can address something from our entertainment industry, we'll be able to kind of, put Africa on the way to that stage we have been wanting. When we look at some of some movies where you are seeing things like people doing some witchcraft and so forth, these are some of the things that are currently happening in our community, and this is actually based on our entertainment industry. But I feel like if we are able to shift it a bit, like when we are talking about technological entertainment, these are things that the young ones will be able to kind of adapt and will kind of like be curious about to learn and know more about. So like I said, I'm passionate about education and also passionate about the healthcare, and putting all this together. I believe like for Africa to go to reach that point of where everyone wants, we actually need to address education, and we also need to address our healthcare services. And lastly, like I said, dedication and also persistence and gradual learning process is key to achieving whatever one aim to achieve. With this, I will say that, yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Yusuf, for your time. Thank you very much. We stay connected.
Sure. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. Yeah.
You're
Sure.
welcome. Thank you all for joining us today on Afrik-innovscience. If you found this conversation insightful, don't forget, please, to like, subscribe, and share the video. See you next time. Goodbye.